Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Small group, 11 Life Ministry and 43rd Street, and we want to thank you for coming and being with us again, contributing to a discussion that we have toward leadership and also the dialogue. And I want to introduce each person here that's present at the table. And to my left here,
John Arias.
Michael, my name is Michael Martinez.
My name is Jorge Cuello Espinosa.
Thank you very much. My name is Esteban Gavan. I want to thank you very much for coming, because this we look forward to every week. Reverend Injun Moon, who's director here, the national president of the 11 Life Ministry here in America, is completely 100% supporting our dialogue here, small group. Small group is beginning of leadership training for our own understanding, to develop more of the elements and the factors that go into nurturing and the fostering of leadership in America and the world. So what we feel very much here, what's happening here in our group discussion also is relevant, quite relevant to leadership development all over the world. Thank you for being with us. And tonight, following last week, we had quite a lively discussion, or 2 weeks ago, we had quite a lively discussion. And I wanted to start something tonight on a project where we can open up with our dialogue and the process here. How will apply to you, and how does it also apply to society? That is the realm of private and public. So how does what you have there, if you can give us some kind of quick and spontaneous thought. And, mine says here, serious trouble will bypass you. Okay.
This made me think of heart condition.
So I think that for myself, apply that to me, and I think that parking here out tonight, I had where I normally park today is tollway zone. So because I got out of the car a number of times, I avoided a serious trouble, and I parked in another place where it's free parking right now. Will bypass you. And in this country right now of America, I think that if we can get serious about leadership, and leadership gets serious about people, I think that this country can avoid a lot of serious complications and more conflict and troubles and have a buildup of enemies worldwide for this country, if we can be more serious and if we can walk our talk in this country. So that's how I think that how this country can also bypass serious trouble. Okay, so what do you have, John? What do you have?
My cookie says time is money.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. And I think it's very, it's applied to what I'm going through right now, which is a time where so many things going on, and I'm trying to graduate from my school and have everything ready, and I'm in the process of moving from my apartment to another one. So many things going on in my life, and I didn't have enough time to like make money. So I've been worried about this, but this is a good message, because I realized once everything settles down and I have more, my life is more organized, I can think about making money. But now I'm in the process of organizing my life and settling down. So, good.
Applied to society in general.
The society.
Mm-hmm.
Time is money. This is very clear at this point. And people are running around and always thinking about how to make more money.
Want to make the deal.
Yeah, how to, go ahead in their business and become rich quickly.
Yeah.
Come when you see, I made money, but I didn't take care of all the things I should take care of before. My family, or the people I love. I didn't
You're
spend time with them because I was so busy making money.
Can be is that if we just keep it within the confines of that statement that time is money, we're almost saying that time is everything,
Exactly.
or money is everything.
Money is everything.
See, that's when, as you might say, trouble happens, right? If you make this absolute statement, because some people think that they're driven by money, and so therefore time becomes a big boulder, which is something that's heavy, a burden for them, because they're trying to all the time in this rat race. How can I make money? Everybody, how can I make money out of this person? How can I make it? And then sometimes, like you just said, your life could just go by you just like that.
Like to the level of New York, how I hear a lot of people in this state, I mean, all over my life, but especially in New York, say that time is money. And I think that reflects the materialistic nature of New York, how people are very superficial and everything ends up being, you do everything because eventually you just want to get money. And that's why you survive, you know? And I think as you said, Esteban, it ends up placing money as the only reason for anything in every minute that goes by, you know? And that's pretty sad, you know? I think the reality...
So why is it sad?
Because I think life becomes...
Is it sad for you, or, I mean, who says it's sad?
I think it's sad for all those who practice this kind of lifestyle due to the fact that I've met people that are that feel like money is everything, you know, like even from the time of 8th grade, from middle school to now in college, you know, like in my personal life, I know that all I do is chase money. I think I'm gonna be pretty dry inside, you know, personally.
So how much money you got in your pocket right now? Okay, all right, now we're happy.
Right. For me, I got a pleasant surprise is waiting for you. For me, I didn't feel anything when I read this because I feel like all of these are very, positive. They're like not very how do you say that? It's for one person only. It's for like everybody can relate to them, especially the way they're written. But then I thought about how everybody should like get one of these every morning, you know, so they wake up, you know, positive and ready to go. And that's pretty much what I got from it. A pleasant surprise. I don't know. I hope so, but. And for society,
Okay, so you hope so, but what's the but? Why?
But, no.
Is there a but on that? There's not a but on there. Did you put that? I mean,
No.
why you say but?
No.
You don't believe in positive stuff.
No.
You're not a positivist.
No.
Oh, you're a fatalist.
I don't know what that means. Before I say
In
that I am
other
not.
words, you believe basically that there's no hope, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel.
I have more like Buddhist beliefs. I believe like life is about suffering, and so we learn more when we suffer than when we are happy. Because when we are happy, we don't think of things, what's going on with us, what is happening. We just go by enjoy the moment. But when we suffer, that's when we really think of ourselves and what's really going on with us. So pleasant surprise. I prefer, not something horrible, but something that I will learn about myself or others, or the people around me. For something.
But I guess. Okay, so but the Buddhists also believe in bliss, and so you could it be that this pleasant surprise could be a bliss?
Pleasant surprise.
Could it be that during this?
Yeah, the purpose of suffering is to become enlightened and to reach the nirvana, which is where you have no worries at all, right? So that's the gratification you're looking for when you are willing to go through suffering in life. And very much, it's so hard to go through suffering if you don't know that it's something beyond that suffering that is awaiting.
Wow.
And it is good for you. I feel like, where is this suffering going to end? But it always ends somehow, somewhere. Otherwise, it would be too much for.
Yeah, but too much happiness is also, lonely, and what is the point? Just everything is joyful and happy. I don't know. I think it gets. And there's what is it they're saying? There's too much of a good thing.
If it's too good to be true, it's not true.
No, too much of a good thing. Like too much of something becomes, bad. You get used to it, or you just lost the feeling of it.
What did I ask you before? You said it's sad, right? I feel you're sad.
No.
You're not sad?
No.
No, you're not bad.
I'm not.
Okay.
I accept things for what they are.
When you come to the meeting tonight, do you expect to suffer or do you expect to have joy?
I don't come with any expectations, happy or sad. But I just.
Oh, you could be surprised then.
Surprised though.
It sounds a little bit too bubbly, too positive, right? Okay, let's go back to this there. Now, in your experience, and you're saying what we're talking about, can you love what you're doing?
Of course. What's the
Okay,
point if you
good.
don't enjoy what you do?
Okay, you can enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. But then something tells me that from what you're saying, there needs to be suffering where you're.
No, not everything. It's not like I look for pain everywhere. Or I try to get into a car accident or something just to know what it feels like. I meant not everything that the bad happens is just, a bad thing, I don't know why people try to sometimes hide away from the truth. That's the thing. They want to ignore it because it makes them feel bad. They cannot do anything about it,
So is the truth then for you? Is it filled with joy and suffering?
No.
No. This is like children's stuff.
This
is like, this isn't for you.
Yeah, this isn't for me.
Okay, let me explain. This here is, on one hand, I appreciate what you're saying, but on the other hand, there's some, there's like a dicho, they have a saying,
Yeah, saying.
and the Oriental person can put this on here as being maybe a guideline for some discussion.
Right.
Okay, it's not a law.
Right.
This is not a law. And so you're saying then, because it's interesting how right away our attitude about things is either we get turned on or turned off before he even read it.
Right.
Before you even read this, it's like believe it or not, I don't believe it. It's like and so if something happens to us that we don't think it's serious. There's so many things in life that we don't take serious because it's not for me. It's something, if we haven't been doing it, or if we don't do it, like you don't eat fortune cookies, do you? You don't get
I like
fortune.
them. Yeah.
But you don't, when was the
No,
last
read
one?
it.
When was the last one you had?
Just now a few minutes ago.
I mean, today?
Yeah, just today.
Just today you had one?
This one right here.
No, but you never had, when was the last time you had one?
Oh, it was a long time ago. They don't know go give this. I don't know, where I live. Yeah, I stopped giving them.
But you understand what I'm saying? Truth, what is truth? Well, many times we're not even ready to hear truth because we've got our mind made up where we're going to take it, how it's going to come to us. Okay, how about in society? Can you apply that to society?
Pleasant surprise. Oh, I hope, for society, I hope the best for our society. Because based on the news and what's going on, doesn't seem to be like the light anywhere near, this time. The wars, it's getting worse. It's getting better. We're having troops back. But I just feel like the United States seems to have amnesia all the time, forgets that they make their own enemies. They create the problems themselves. Like when North Korea and South Korea, they created that situation. They created what's going on in North Korea and South Korea right now. In Pakistan, they gave money to the Taliban because they were trying to get rid of communism. They get rid of a problem, but they create a bigger problem. So I don't know what's going to happen now because of they're training the soldiers in Pakistan. What's going to happen next if the same soldiers they taught how to fight?
So is it possible, because our discussion is related to unplugged leadership and related to discussion about leadership. Is it possible then that during this time, in light of elections here coming, that a change of leadership or leadership getting more serious, that the country could be in for a pleasant surprise?
Not a change in leadership, because actually if what's his name, Mitt Romney get accepted, we actually be going backwards. He's against women contraception, not allowing them their own right to choose whether to have a child or not to have a child. That's not a man's choice. And I don't know if you guys saw in the news when a bunch of priests and about the priests, the Catholic Church pay money so this will go to court because they don't want to give contraception to women. Instead of using that money to help, people, they're using it for this, trying to prevent women to have their own rights.
The contrast from very, very negative sometimes conversation. My fortune.
Nothing was negative.
No, not negative, but a lot of suffering though in the conversation, right?
Uh-huh.
On the flip side, mine says it is a nice day. That's what it says. Has a smiley face in the beginning and a smiley face in the end of the sentence. So I'd like to apply this. So in my personal life, this applies a lot to me actually, because this is how I feel. Every single day I say it's a nice day. Why? Because I woke up. That's all I need to be grateful for with my day, and I feel every day is a nice day just because of that. When I apply it to society, I think that it's very beautiful how they put a smiley face in the beginning and at the end of the sentence, meaning kind of like the spectrum of your day. If it's filled with a smile, then you're gonna be alright. I think in comparison to especially what you and Michael were talking about, I don't think life is like if someone lives a life and always happy, or someone lives a life always feeling like everything's okay, that they are not growing or they're not facing reality. I think that those who can maintain happiness in their life and can continue to be grateful are those who are dealing with the problems in the right way. Because if we are boggled down with the reality or boggled down with problems, and we don't have a nice day, then we're just gonna be just taken down by everything. But the only way a nice day can continue to happen today, tomorrow, and forevermore, the only way that can happen is if the source of your happiness is an eternal source, and that's what I find. I apply this a lot to me because I feel like my source is God for my nice day. And so if this source is an unchanging and eternal source, that's how I'm going to be if I can connect to that source. And I don't think that, I know someone else, like a sister, her name is Soma, you met her, right? And she's always jumping every day, like, oh, today's a nice day, And it's like, how can people feel like that? How, And I think it's a choice almost, but I definitely don't think that people who do live like this, that they're like avoiding problems. I think they're dealing with it properly.
In order to appreciate what is given to them, they need to experience suffering. For example, it's easier for someone who experiences hunger to appreciate a meal given to them, right? A warm meal. Or someone who knows poverty, if someone gives them $100 or something like that. Refer to what he said, and sometimes you have to appreciate suffering because it makes you appreciate having something that you like. Have a positive attitude all the time. If you're really hungry, it's very hard to smile or to be jumping around like that's not lady. Or if you don't have any money in your pocket, it's hard to be smiling or doing that. So I can understand a little bit what he's saying, and I think some people just jump around and always smiling just to hide something. Maybe they're hiding the true self. So it's not so easy to identify the true self.
Yeah, I think, John, that someone who is having a nice day can still appreciate suffering, because I think the point of this how do you call it, fortune cookie, is to make sure the spectrum of both spectrum, the beginning and the end, this is filled with a smile. You know, like the essence of your day can be that it's a nice day, but you can still appreciate suffering. You know, maybe over here, over there, over here. So I myself, for example, there's times where I feel like that I may be suffering one day, that I have a problem that I'm dealing with, but I still feel like it's a nice day, you know? And I think, and I still am able to deal with the suffering. So I don't think, I'm sure there are people, John, that you can't really see who they are because they're always smiling, or you can't see who they are because they're always sad, maybe, you know, either side. But I think it's still highly possible, I feel, to appreciate suffering even though you think it's a nice day, all the time, I think.
I was gonna say, this girl once said, this friend that I have wrote something in her Facebook that said like that she was gonna enjoy her life because other people are worse. So that for some reason like got me thinking when I saw that one, and like there's something wrong with this, and like you're enjoying your life because other are poor, hungry, so you should appreciate your life because of this instead of try to help them or try to. It feels like she's smiling or laughing because I have things that you don't have, so that's what it felt wrong to me when I read that. So I wrote that to her like. And I never got a response back because I think she thought I was insulting her, but I just trying to understand what she meant by that. I'm gonna enjoy my life to be happy because there are people that don't have things that I do, or they're worse off than me. It doesn't sound like a good thing, does it? I can get that. Try to understand that. Instead of you being happy for other people don't have, try to help out the people that don't have the things that you have. Appreciate them, understand them.
It's interesting, in our discussion, we're talking about problems and state of crises and the future and the present. And what comes to mind is that the Western mind here in America, you've heard, is serious about truth, justice, and the comics.
Comics?
The comics.
Comic books?
Comedy.
Oh, comedy.
The comedy. So, I mean, you know that here in America people like to tell jokes. They like jokes, okay?
Right.
And so, what is it? Does it mean that you're saying something that you can take a better approach to a problem if you sometimes take a lighter attitude, or not always have a serious attitude, not always be, burrowed into it? Is it a matter of either or is it a little bit of both, or what is it? What are we talking? What are we? It's something that has puts some people ill. Some people are so ill now, and they're so depressed because they don't see anybody addressing these kind of issues.
Everything that's wrong, then you're not dealing with it, maybe, But I stand in the position that people who are able to smile can deal with their problems and be able to, learn from them. Like, you don't have to be taken down by it, You can be very much deal with these things and have a smile.
But wait a minute, you're saying two things. You're saying first thing you said was that when you see somebody smiling all the time, you don't think that they're real.
That's what I said in the beginning. That's what I used to think.
That's what you used to think. And now?
And now I feel like that if
Why the change?
Because good question. Because I felt in my life when I found an anchor, like during a moment when I was suffering, during a moment where I could have been crying, If I found an anchor during that moment that was able to, that it's faith, it's really faith. When I was able to find faith, like in the moment of you feel like everything is going just down, If I in that moment was able to find faith, then I found the situation improving around me, So the reason why I changed is because one day I decided, okay, things absolutely are gonna get better, and I know it. You know, when I change my worldview to that extent,
Wait.
Things
You
began
may be coming,
to
you're talking
get
more,
better.
another thing you're talking about face. Are you talking about the smile, just having a smile, just like that?
no, I'm not. I'm talking
What do you-
superficial. I'm talking about attitude. Yes, I mean, yeah. So I mean,
So skip the smile then.
Yeah,
You're just talking attitude. Mejor reír que llorar. Because maybe we don't want to, I mean, some people go around all the day in and day out and see tragedy after tragedy. And then they, man, if I keep going, I'm gonna be tragic. So then they decide I have to do is, I'm just gonna have a happy face.
no, this is not the solution. This is not what I'm saying. You know,
What are you saying?
it sounds like it. That sounds right. That sounds like it seems like
Because
what
it
people are
sounded like
doing.
when you started doing that, then your whole situation changed.
No, it's not that I said, I have problems. Let me just smile it off. That is absolutely not the medicine, you know. Once
What is the medicine?
the medicine is to have faith during those problems. Once someone can
Don't
find
bring in
faith,
faith now, because
Yeah.
you're mixing it up. You're mixing
How am I mixing it
categories.
up?
You're mixing categories.
how am I missing?
What you do is have a happy face, and then after that will follow an attitude.
No, Mr. Gavin, I think it's all the way around. I think you have it all the way around. I just you have a good attitude, then the smiling face will come this way. Because if you think that or
Because
you feel,
you said one time you felt that somebody who's always smiling all the time, they aren't real.
yeah, that's right.
That's what you felt one time.
I did feel that one time.
But you're saying a person, if you want to be that way, if you want to be happy and you're real, then be that way, right?
This just reminds me of the movie was called The Pursuit of Happiness. The man that true story based on a true story about this man that was having a miserable life, and his son he was taking care of his son, and he was having a hard time selling this kind of machines, X-ray machines, and he kept on working even though he was having hardships. He still worked on it, trying to find a job in the corporation and try to sell his X-ray machines. And before going to an interview, you know, he went to jail for something for not paying his rent or something like that, and then finally he got a jail where a suit had pain in his hair and pain in his hands, and you know he breathed it in and walked in the door positive, you know, smiling, you know, telling them what happened to him in a positive, happy tone of voice, you know, trying to deal with the situation, what's going on, and hopefully they will accept him or not. So that's what I thought of when he said, you know, first the attitude and then happiness will come. Try to think the positive, that things are gonna get better, but I don't feel like that's the thing that's what I don't get. That just don't feel that things are gonna get better. That's the difference between me. Try to make them get better, you know, work on them, try to get better, you know.
Yeah.
Deal with it and try to do action, you know, just don't wait, sit down and be happy, be positive, and then things will get better. Go out there and try to make them better yourself.
Oh, okay, so you're saying be positive, and you're just saying, instead of being
Positive.
positive,
Also,
just go out.
yeah, but you have to be positive as well. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
that's
we're
the
not
thing he was
actually
missing.
disagreeing.
That's the thing he was missing on his point of view that I felt
That's
we need to
right.
add it.
Yeah, that's right. Michael, yeah, I never said, I agree. I think those who do remain in a constant happiness do have to be working to make the problem not continue. You know, like he said, don't just stay smiling, you know, all the time, thinking that, you know, just it's going to dawn from the sky that the day is going to get better, you know. It absolutely has to take, you have to take action for that to happen.
9/11.
9/11 comes to New York, that's when people are really come together, they don't think, I want to be happy. They don't think about attitude. All I see, I remember that day, all I see is this is chaos and there's people suffering, let's do something. And you see somebody in the Hudson drowning, you don't think, oh, can I make them happy or can I be happy? No, you just, you go right away. You know, it's like a fire, you have to act. But am I gonna be happy? Do you wanna be happy? Am I gonna have a good attitude? Maybe we don't need an attitude, but we need a momentum and action. Maybe we don't need so introspective about, am I in the right faith? Am I in the right mood? Cut the mood, cut the faith. You know, I mean, because people have been working on their faith and their mood for so many years, they ain't done nothing.
Right.
Some people are just reading the holy books, and still people are dying. You know, I wonder. Is it? I'm not making a judgment.
I think it's pretty, like, I think it is true, Esteban, that it is true but sad that only when situation gets extremely tragic, then is when people act. I think that is the reality, but like you said, if for example, let's say I see in the Hudson River one person drowning, you know, I shouldn't have to wait for the whole city to be drowning for me to do something about it, you know. It is true that, like I said once again, unfortunately, it is true that people get close only when suffering is, you know, everywhere. It shouldn't have to be that way, you know. I think it is very possible to make an effort to become closer to someone, or, you know, really, you know, connect to one another without having to have chaotic situations. That is the reality, but it doesn't have to be like that.
I think the essence of this is we as a society, we are trained to think about our own happiness before we think about the happiness of others.
Yeah.
I'm going to have this, I'm going to make this goal for myself before I can go
That's right.
and do something for others.
And what-
But that goal keeps going. They never satisfy. So I think that the point is to be able to train ourselves to not to have that high expectation of what I want before I can do something for others, but do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this person, I don't have to wait for this person to be drowned in the Hudson River to do something for him. Maybe he needs something now. He needs my smile. He is having a hard time. I need to smile to him, or I need to talk to him something, right?
Right.
That is already something I can do without me having to wait until I reach the ideal situation so I can do something for other people.
Wow.
And I think that's the key. If we have that kind of concept, I think we can be very satisfied with our own lives. Because my own experience is when I do something for other people, I feel happy, even though I'm not fully satisfied with my life. But the situation in society is that everyone is just going their own direction, and they don't see the need of the people next to me.
Yeah.
But when a tragedy happened, that's when people realize I had to do something because there's a real need here. But there's need all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was it's mean. It's always about, you know, a person that didn't appreciate what he had, then he lose everything, and then he, you know, tries to get it back because he lost them. Every movie is kind of like that. That's something that they can connect to every single one audience. You know, that's why they're popular, and that's why they even translate in different languages because it's something that everybody can relate to.
Okay, right. So when do you feel in your own, when we're talking here, it seems to be that in our we go in stages. So sometimes it takes a certain experience. You know, knowledge can come out from books, but also knowledge can come from experience. So what changes is sometimes a certain experiences changes when all of a sudden we start coming out and looking at things differently.
Yeah.
What kind of change is that? What kind of experience is that?
Everyone's bound to have some kind of experience that's gonna, like, you know, like shock them. You know, it's gonna be like you're gonna be like that. But I think it's a matter of choosing to change. The experience won't change you. You're gonna change yourself. You're gonna choose to be changed during the experience. Because I'm sure that many people don't change. You know, they can go 30, 40, 50 years old and not changing, still having many experiences day by day, week by week. But once a person chooses to change during the situations is when things will clear up.
Okay, so awareness. Awareness
That's
is a very important concept in a small group. Awareness and becoming aware of our surroundings, our environment, and our internal environment, our inner environment. So, what about that? Where or when did you start becoming aware? Recently? Or was it some experience in your childhood, some experience that made you became aware?
Choose what we choose, our careers or where we are today, we can look back and see, our choices. Was it because of an experience or was it because, I don't know, something else? For me, going to college is because, why did I go to college? I forgot. I enjoy school. I just really like the classes. I didn't have like a reason why. I don't even know what I want to do in my life.
But certainly, you changed direction of your life. Must have been because not everybody. When we look at all of our neighborhood friends and everything, family,
right.
Not everybody's going to college.
Right.
So you went a path that decided to be somehow or other. Some awareness makes us do something.
Right.
I'm going to get up and go to college. You say, every morning. To you, it means a lot to this sister that she has a smile on her face every day. She made you aware of something. She made you think about Jorge. You see, somehow or other, it's sort of like someone, another person can mirror us and make us aware of. Well, how come I don't have that? Because then you're waiting for something to happen when we don't. If we sit and wait, it's not going to come. That's what we're saying. That's a little bit underlying what we're saying here tonight.
Right.
If you don't give, it won't come back. And that's what I'm saying. Awareness that something does spark, something clicks to us. What does
I
it?
think it's different religions believe that purpose of people is to become better, to ultimately become, like Jesus said, become perfect.
Yeah.
And Buddhists say become transcendent or light. I think it's and it doesn't matter what you believe or what religion you believe. There's always that pursuit of becoming a better person every day. And even if you don't believe in anything, there must be some universal law that guides people to want to become better, and that's what make them click whenever they find something that I want to have that. I want to smile more like this person smiles. I want to have the attitude that this person have when they're facing a problem. So I think it's something like that. Everyone is driven by a force that is invisible and it makes us want to be better every day.
Yeah.
Right?
That comes back to this book that I was reading. Psychology. It's about psychology, and it talks about what drives us. And it talks about Friedman Freud says we're driven by sexual desires and by recognition. So what made me think about was like what I felt like he was wrong for a while, and I thought I was like, wait, children don't even think about sexual thoughts. They don't even care about what's going on. They don't care about being recognized. But that actually, I went against my own view because children are always like trying to do the littlest things to showing you that they can do it. Mommy, look at me. I can jump this. I drew this. So maybe he's right on that. But also, there's other psychologists. I forgot his name. I think it was Jason or something like that. He talked about it's also about being known, being recognized for something. That we're all driven by people knowing who we are, knowing that we did something to improve the world. And everybody has that, but some people have it little and some people have it in a big way. Other people just dress very expensive shoes, very expensive clothing, and that's their way of getting recognized. That for me is very small. There's people that are trying to change the world, try to change, try to make life good for everybody else. That's the way they try to get recognized and try to, not only for their movement, but for themselves because they want to feel important. And
so
we're all driven by something.
So awareness leads us, can tell us that if we're really going, if we have certain needs, say I have recognition need, or say you have some kind of sexual satisfaction that you want, awareness makes you, am I going about it the right way or not? Am I, and even it could be whether it's self-centered or whether it's other-centered, awareness helps us to understand, am I being honest with myself?
Right.
I may say that, I'm going to become a priest, or I'm becoming a Buddhist, I'm going to become a monk, and then I'm going to be something to work on my purity. But if you're not, if you could be going, meanwhile, you could still be going to the club. You could still be going out to a dancing. In other words, that would be contrary to what your primary need might be. Your primary need may be one of purity, so you want to go the way of a monk or another priest. But if you're going to go to the bar or the club, even the priests have to figure that one out too. Then they're going to be in trouble. They go to contradictory. So the awareness lets you, awareness, something about that. That knows, you know, who am I? Even in this group discussion we have is, why do we keep talking? It almost seems like where are we talking? Because what it is expression. You see, sometimes you make feel like, is Jorge, does Miguel, does John, does he make sense? See, it's not a matter of, because language is very deceiving. What we're doing is we're doing language here. We're talking language. Sometimes we don't understand each other. And sometimes you need to talk so that you can understand yourself. And that's what this small group is about right now at this table. We're getting to create language, or to unlearn language that we learned before. That's why we're asking each other, what do you mean? We're not trying to catch each other. What we're trying to do is enable each other. They call it empowerment. So we can then mentally, you know, whether it's Freud who talks about satisfaction, and he talks about the Oedipal complex or whatever it might be. You can do the same thing with Eric Erickson, or you can talk to, you know, with Maslow, who all talks about the hierarchy of needs, you know, and the value system. Or we've said before, some people have said before that everybody seeks love. You know, that's not Freud, but he talks about that, you know, say that everyone seeks love and to be loved. So suppose we start there. But awareness helps us to understand is, where is your starting point? Because where your starting point is will indicate where you're going to end up. You see, that's why we're talking about this, so that we can't assume. If we assumed that everything was all right, we wouldn't have to meet. But we're here, we're allowing ourselves to be used, and putting this on the website, coming to 43rd Street and having groups, whether it's dancing, ballroom dancing, or whether it's studying of principle, or whether it's whatever it might be here, whatever dynamics are going on here in the center, is so that we can do is, we can bring awareness and take our mind and body to a certain point where we are doing things with others without suspicion, without fear, without, you know, judgment, you know, like that, so that we can, you know, it's like meet others and also create a new culture. Man, you keep bringing it up because because the reason being is that there's this abstract concept of white man, and we need to talk about that at some point to look at the details of this in this culture. You want to say something about the awareness part that we want to have here? We want to experience and go, like for instance, I could remember so clearly in the 60s where we had Martin Luther King, we had Malcolm X, and we had the Kennedy brothers, and we had Cesar Chavez, and we had the Berrigan brothers, and all these people, you know, who were at this time a movement saying that we could change this country, we could change the world. Whether it be a protest, or whether it be a sit-in, or maybe a fast, whatever it was. Gandhi, we had Gandhi. We had people who could really change, who were models of change. And this is what we're talking about, that there's something in humankind, in the persona, in the person, who wants to feel that this awareness, it's like a tunneling vision that we have to ourselves keep alive. We have to keep it alive, and I think that's one of the things that's bringing us together here, and why we want to go further more. Whether it's the little old lady that's crying, how you can feel that for contemporary mankind, men and women, what's going on now. Can you just do that at the drop of a pin? Can you have the same kind of tears that this person has for, you know, her situation with God in the church. Can you have it for right here on Fifth Avenue? Reverend Moon came here, when he came to Fifth Avenue, and he saw the debt of America. He saw that where you have, and he had tears when he came to America, and he wept for this country. And it's a really important thing. This is, you know, this is Memorial Day coming up. People were able to do is give their lives for this country, military-wise. But there's another war. There's a war of ideology here going on. We're talking about a war of ideas. And can we, in our awareness, feel that every day? Can we feel like what we're talking around this table? We want to hope to do is when you leave and go back, you can do this, whether it's on the train or whether you're at home or wherever you're at, school, wherever we're at, we continue the same kind of dialogue, the same kind of communications with others. Because do you feel that? Do you feel that? You feel what I'm saying? Because when I hear each of your stories, it's amazing how it's so important for you, and so valuable. And if we could have the same kind of energy spread around, things would change.
Things will change.
Yeah, things would change, and it would be more than just a smile on the face, a happy meal, or a happy face, It'd be very serious.
Scientific study. Smile actually does increase your mood and makes you happy actually. It sends chemicals in your brains as soon as you smile.
Thank you very much tonight, because we really went not far, but we went deep.
Fair enough.
Okay, and I want to thank you very much, and that each of you can have a good weekend. Come to Loving Life Ministry with us here at 43rd Street in a small group, and always know that this isn't the only event that's going on here. There's so many events here, and our pastor, Reverend Inch Moon, she's very well aware of how much the needs are of our youth and our greater community. So I invite each and every one of you to come here and check it out. And then I want to thank, you can say each of your names, say
John.
goodbye to.
Goodbye, John.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Michael.
Goodbye, Jorge.
And Esteban, and I just want to say to all of you, remember, it only takes a spark to get a fire going. Thank you very much, and have a happy Memorial Day weekend, and be safe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.